Good morning. Welcome to Mount Tabor's second blog this week. It is our blog about the next sermon that's coming up this Sunday. We're now in a sermon series about the Sermon on the Mount. We did last week's on Blessed are the poor in spirit. This week we advance to Matthew 5, verses 4 through 6. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. This is the word of God for the people of God. Now, as we left off in the last sermon, we talked about the poor in spirit, and that it isn't all about the poor part as much as it is the spirit, that we are totally dependent on God. These next three Beatitudes deal with basically the same situation. But from an outsider's point of view, you might get this idea of that blessed are the sad, the weak, and the frustrated. As a matter of fact, that's the title of this week's sermon. But you have to look deeper than that. Mourning is something that we all will face in this time. If you haven't faced it yet, you will. It's not something we're pleased with, and it's not something we're pleasant about. Mourning is a period of loss, feeling that we have lost someone that we've loved. Or it can be a period of feeling that we've lost something that we had. We can mourn for the loss of a job. We can mourn for the loss of a loved one. We can mourn for the loss of the state of our society. We will discuss exactly what it is that we're looking for in mourning. But I believe that God is very clear that we are comforted in our mourning no matter what we lose. The next one is blessed are the meek. And in our society, we are taught not to be meek. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Those who have the most loud voice, the most active force, they're the ones that are listened to the most. We teach children to stand up to bullies. So why is the meek the issue? What are we meek towards? Are we meek towards one another? Do we act towards one another in love? Is the issue of meekness. It's not about weakness. It's about meekness. And we'll discuss that Sunday. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness' sake. Again, the world looks at that and says the frustrated. Those who are not getting what they want. But the issue is that what is righteousness' sake? Do they look at our society and say everything's fine, or do they weep and mourn and are meek, and are they frustrated with what they see and know that there will come a day when these things are placed right? As we talked about last week, the issue of the Sermon on the Mount can be taken in two different ways. There's the millennial view that says all this is for the kingdom someday. And in some of these, you can feel what the kingdom will look like someday. But how do we live it today? And that's what we'll talk about this Sunday. Service begins at 10:45. We would love to have you. Please come with us. We are located on Highway 89 South, going out of Cabot. We appreciate anybody who'd like to visit with us. Please come. Everybody's welcome. I promise you, you'll feel at home in these pews. We're probably the place you turn around at anyway. God bless each and every one of you. Hope to see you this Sunday morning. If you did not hear the first sermon, check out the earlier blog this week. God bless each of you, and we will talk to you hopefully this Sunday.